Welcome back to the Real Life Theology Podcast. This is your host, Matthew Croson. In this episode, Chris Jefferson delivers an engaging workshop on how churches can leverage digital tools to enhance evangelism, discipleship, and community engagement. He offers practical strategies for building a robust online presence and using technology to support spiritual growth. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Almost ready to get started. Snacks and drinks are on the back. I've only got 1,000 slides, so we're going to try to get through them in 45 minutes. So 1,000 slides, I'm going to be cooking, but really I'm going to hope to get some time at the end. If you have some questions, some other things that I can help answer, love to be able to do that. I'm going to try to get it all in, but I've got some great things to share with you today. How many of you are involved with communications or marketing at your church? 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5, right? Okay, great. How many of you are like executive pastors, leaders at your church? 1, 2, great. Okay. How many of you are solo Lone Rangers? Yes! Totally get it. Great. Well, we've got some good things to talk about today. Hopefully something for everybody. Is there anybody here that's in children's ministry? Yes? Awesome. Student ministry? Yes. Great. All right. All of these things that we get to talk about today all have application and all have opportunity for those things to be applicable. If it's hard to apply it or you have questions, I'm going to be available at the end too to be able to chat with you all about all of these good things. First, the commercials. I know. Pretty exciting. My name is Chris Jefferson. In case you are at the right spot or the wrong spot, we're doing technology and discipleship today. It was originally advertised as discipleship and technology, but I switched it up. I just wanted to make sure that we had a little fun. I am the executive director of Spire Network. So if you've ever been to a Spire event or heard about a Spire event or thought, man, I'd really love to go to a Spire event or have a Spire tattoo, whatever, right? I work with Spire Network and we are doing a little conference. And I don't know, it may be bad form for me to talk about hey man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. You pass these out. That'd be so great. My lovely assistant, JR Horn. He's just so good. It's perfect. He's right there. But Spire Network does the Spire Conference every year. It's a national gathering of Restoration Movement churches, leaders, really focusing on leadership. And what we try to do is make sure that we stay connected, right? Because connectivity is so difficult in all of the different channel ministries that we serve in. Being able to connect with other children's pastors, being able to connect with other student ministry workers, being able to connect with other executive pastors and other pastor leaders. It's really what we do at Spire Network. That's our speaker list. There's a QR code on the back for you to register. And I'm hoping that before the end of the day, I've got like a special code that I can give you all. If I don't have it, wait a second. I do. I have a special code for you. You can save $50 on your registration if you write the word renew on the special code on your registration page. $50. And that's a big deal because what's tomorrow? Is tomorrow the 1st of May? Yeah. Oh man. First day of May. It's unbelievable. Yeah, May Day. So the prices go up dramatically, maybe starting in May. So this is the opportunity to get $50 off of the cheapest price you're going to get for the next 5 days. Awesome. So $50, write the word renew in as you register, and then we'll see you in Phoenix, which will be fantastic. Okay? Tom, come on in. Dates, October 1, 2, 3. October 1, 2, 3. There's no dates on the card because I wanted you to hit the QR code. It's an interactive play to get you involved and engaged right away. October 1, 2, 3. There'll be more information coming out, but definitely if you'd like to register, spireconnect.network, spireconnect.network. Okay. There's our first QR code. If you want to grab that QR code, great. The QR code's the same one that's on your card, so no worries there. But leading with character and courage is our theme. It's going to be in Peoria, Arizona at Christ Church of the Valley's main campus. Really great way to interactively be involved with all of the different Christ Church of the Valley. Come on in, man. Come on in. No worries. No worries. We have seating even for Kansas fans. Even for Kansas fans. It's great. It's going to be a really great conference. Super excited about it. But you can check out more information about that without me doing too much of a commercial for Spire.network. All right. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about technology and discipleship, specifically some tools and some techniques and some things to do. Can everybody see that up on the screen? I'm going to step out of the way here. There's nowhere for me to go. There's nowhere for me to go. I'm going to go over here. Can everybody see it okay? All right. I think this may be as big as it gets. It may get smaller. I don't know. Here are some truths. Here are some things that I wanted to start with before we get into the tools, before we get into the stuff, before we get into okay, what can I do about this, right? The world is desperate for the truth of the gospel. Desperate. People are more open to the gospel than ever before. People are more reluctant, though, to walk into a church than ever before. COVID did a number on people's skepticism, on their reluctance, on their inability to trust, but they want to trust. They want to trust. Seekers reside in the digital world. However, churches are not positioned well for this opportunity. I believe that there's an opportunity coming for the American church where we may be looking at the next great awakening in our nation. And unfortunately, the church is not positioned in the digital space to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. And so I'm wanting to be able to say, hey, here's some things we can do to get better and to start moving forward towards being able to be positioned for being able to take advantage of this incredible opportunity. It's not hard to get better, but you do have to want to, right? There was once a lame man by the pool of Bethesda who said, I try, but I just can't get in the water when the angel stirs it. And Jesus says, do you want to get well? And it's a profound statement. Do you want to get well or not? Do you want to get well or not? When you realize as a church how sick you are digitally, the question is, do you want to get well? My hope is that you say, yes, there's a resounding opportunity here, right? But if not, there'll be a number of excuses, right? However, we've got to be able to take a look at the way that digital is working in our communities, digital is working socially, and be able to say, hey, this is where the people that we're trying to reach are connected. This is how they connect. This is where they reside. And for us to miss the opportunity to position the gospel to them because we don't like the medium, right? I'm not a Google guy, right? I'm not a Google guy, but you know what? It's the medium. It's not the message. The message never changes. The message is Christ crucified and it's for you, right? And so being able to embrace the medium is all I'm talking about here. Some great tools already exist for raising awareness, assimilation, evangelism, and discipleship. Those are the 4 things that I'm going to talk about with these tools. Awareness, assimilation, evangelism, and discipleship. To get better, first, you must assess your situation. We're going to talk about assessment and being able to assess the tools that you have, don't have, etc. Hey, here's some terrible stats. You ready for some terrible stats? 75% of people say they want to grow more spiritually. That was pre-COVID. That's a Barna survey pre-COVID. They want to grow more spiritually. Their hearts are open. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean Christianity. That means spirituality. And so, Church of Latter-day Saints, running for that. Islam, running for that fact, right? All of these false truths, running for this fact. And we see people diving into, with their lives, counterfeit truth because we aren't first. We're not there. We're not getting them. We're not engaging with them. 75% of people say they want to grow more spiritually, but they are now more reluctant than ever to walk into a church post-COVID. They're not walking into a church. This next stat below here is crazy. It used to take between 3 to 5 touches or contacts to get people to be interested in going and checking out a church. Well, they got an Easter egg hunt. We'll go and do that. Well, oh, they got a picnic. whatever that is, if you're doing advertising for your thing, right? It now takes 12 to 15 touches. 12 to 15 touches. It's crazy. But it takes 12 to 15 to get their attention, right? And that is if somebody is latently unaware of your church or anything about you, to move them up, each one of those to where they're willing to come, 12 to 15 touches. 9.25 hours is the average amount of time that people are spending on their mobile phones every day. Average. 9.25 hours. That's roughly half your awake hours. How did this happen? Right? It is where people reside. Digitally is where people reside. It used to be that there were the big 5 apps. Can anybody name them? What are the big 5 apps? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Used to be 5, right? There's now 72 major apps that people engage in. And they're all different interest apps. They're all different ways that people engage in their communities, in their social areas. And if we don't know 72 different places or have ability to impact 70 different, we're missing out on where people reside. There are 2,000 to 3,000 people in any geographic area who are monthly asking Siri for assistance in finding a church. You ever done that? You ever taken your phone out and be like, Siri, where's the nearest McDonald's? Right? McDonald's is experts in something called voice recognition technology. So if I say, I'm looking for a hamburger, McDonald's is going to pop up. Got McNuggets? McDonald's is going to pop up. The voice technology is the thing that you are searching by. Used to be when you put it into a browser, chicken McNuggets, it would pop up, right? But now it's voice-activated technology. 98% of churches are not in the voice recognition space. So when 2,000 to 3,000 people in any geographic region are monthly asking Siri on assistance on finding a church, right? They may say, I need to find the Christian church in town. Or they may say church, or they may say prayer meeting, whatever it is that they're saying, because we haven't delved into identifying that voice recognition technology. 98% of churches not in the voice space. LDS churches, right? My point is, Siri's not going to differentiate between a church that teaches the truth and a church that teaches a counterfeit gospel. They're not going to do that. So, if we're not even in the space, right, we're missing out on being able to be relevant to how people live their lives. Does everybody use Siri in this room? Or some sort of voice recognition app? Everybody has? So you know it's that prevalent. You've done it yourself, right? And if you're looking for tires or you're looking for shoes or whatever it is, the voice recognition technology is the new browser. So being able to be relevant in voice recognition technology is something that 98% of churches aren't doing. Shocking, right? I told you they were bad numbers. Okay, so here's the first thing. In order to figure out how to get well, you have to figure out how sick you are, right? And so I have this little agency on the side that I work with that I'm only showing you this example because it matters to helping you understand how both complex and easy it is. I don't think I can scroll down from here. All right. This is a little church. I used to live in beautiful Hendricks County, right here in lovely Indiana. And this is a little church that I used to drive by every day. I'm pretty sure that nobody is from Plainfield Bible Church. This is a little church of about 300. It's probably more like a lot of churches that we'll see. And this is a grade card that is not uncommon with most churches that I see. So what I do is I'll do a quick assessment of their digital footprint. And we'll look at things like reputation management. What's their Google review? Is there a Google marketplace that's been well defined about who they are? I'll look at that, and that's listings. We'll look at reviews. We'll look at how they're doing social media. What's their website look like? How do they work with e-commerce, right? Anybody have a bookstore in their church here, right? E-commerce is not that far away from being able to be a high score. Advertising, SEO, what do these things even mean, right? Let me see if I can scroll down here. Apologize but I had to get anybody see my cursor? Oh, there it is. All right. I'm going to just kneel down here and do it. Awesome. All right. So when you are looking at a score like this, you start to look at the business details. Here's the address, 752 Dan Jones Road, Plainfield, Indiana. This is important. And what the URL looks like, www.plainfieldbible.org. Okay. So when a bot begins to search for who you are, there are tons of listings. It's not just Google, Facebook, what have you, but there's a ton of listings that search for your identity. And you can see everywhere where there is a brown address or a brown note in these listings is a place where there's been a discrepancy. Somebody said North Dan Jones Road and put an N there. Discrepancy. Confuses the bots. You get a lower score. Somebody put the wrong email address in there. You get a lower score. And there's no way for anybody to be able to keep up with the necessary hair combing of managing your listing. And if you don't know, you don't know, right? But look at all of these discrepancies. Yellow Book, listing not found. Not even on the list. Foursquare, not even on the list. These are all places that impact the searchability of you being found. And you don't know that the bots can't direct people to you because you don't know how tangled your hair is, right? But this is the whole point of being able to deal with your listing and make sure that you're telling Google who you are consistently. If somebody puts the wrong phone number in, right? There's a couple places here where the phone number's wrong. Or a phone number's different. Or the pastor puts in his mobile phone and suddenly it's confusing the bots. Where are they? I don't even know. And you get a lower score. Lower score, lower score. And that's how you get a C on your listings. But you can see there's over 57 different listings that tangle your hair if you're not being very specific about who you are and helping them find you and give you the right score for knowing how to be on a map, for instance. Map's another great way that people are finding stuff, right? If you don't know it, then you don't know it. And then when you get down to reviews. Anybody gotten a bad review at your church before? You're like, oh man, I've got to call up my aunt and my grandma and my mom to write a good review and bury this sucker, right? Whatever it is, right? That's reputation management. It lowers your Google score. And if people are looking for a church and they're like, oh, they only have 3 stars? I don't know about that church. 3 stars? They must be mean. I don't know. But you see, this church only has 15 total reviews. They have 0 reviews per month. Their average review score and their number of reviews all give them a total C rating, which is their second best grade on this report card. When we get into social media, they're not even doing social. They got 1 like. They got 0 average posts per month. Now, why do social? Because people engage with the things that they want to engage with. And if you are a friend of somebody who's a non-believer and you're posting something about your church, guess what they see? Something about your church, right? Their website. How fast does your website load? Is it as good on mobile as it is on the desktop? These are all things that irritate people and make them leave trying to find you. Look at this page speed. Slow on mobile. So slow. Desktop is great, but slow on mobile. People are mostly engaging on mobile. Their content is too large on their site. And there's a lack of interactivity. It's just info, info, info. Right? Does this sound familiar to anybody? Sound familiar? All right. So you can identify with Score. Now they aren't doing any e-commerce, but e-commerce is an easy thing to do, right? If you're going to take if there's register for camp online or anything that you want to do with e-commerce, you can do that. Being able to take payments online or being able to sell curriculum or small group materials or whatever you want to do, being able to have e-commerce is one more way to up your score and to increase people's identification of you. And then there's advertising, right? Advertising on social media, advertising in a variety of ways. Come to our candlelight Christmas service. Come to our Easter service. If you're not doing any advertising, then you're not being relevant to the social areas that definitely want to interact with you. And then SEO, being able to find you, being able to have that search engine optimization so that all of the bots are working, all of your info's working, and everybody's able to find you because your website's set up right and everything. You've got a great digital footprint. No, they've got a, what is it? They've got an F? They have an F or they got a C? They got a D. They got a D in their SEO. Okay. Well, still, there's improvements that can be made there. And so once you are able to start making an assessment of how bad it is, then you're able to start working on how do we fix it, right? How do we fix it? So there's a couple of different ways I'm going to talk about an assessment today. This is my QR code. Here's my contact information. If you want to take my QR code, I'll be more than happy to talk with you about figuring out a strategy, right? I had a great pastor friend of mine say to me one time, Chris, the best way to get something going is to get started. The best way to get something going is to get started. So if you're going to look at all these things today and you're going to be like, I don't even know where to get started. Okay, great. But just making the step, whatever that step is to start getting started, is really how we start moving forward to fixing what the issues are. And those the assessment tool that I was telling you about, those are all things that you can do and start working with at a very nominal cost. It doesn't take a ton of money, but it does give you the opportunity to start doing some work. Because if you don't know, now you know. All right. I gotta do this for, there we go. The first tool that I want to talk about today is a group called Church Post. Church Post is a great way that for $99 a month, you can totally outsource your social media. And most churches, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Most churches have an opportunity to do social media because somebody comes and says, hey, is anybody doing our Facebook? No. Would you want to do it? Right? Or we'll hire somebody who's an intern for the summer and they change all the passwords and they're doing a great job and then they leave and we're like, what? My social media sucks, right? Social media is important for communicating and connecting. It's your first impression digitally and it's relying on your consistency. We got to keep doing it. We got to keep doing it. Just posting about Christmas and Easter is not enough. Nobody cares. Right? And we want them to care. It's also confusing, frustrating, requires never-ending attention. It's expensive to hire help outside or inside. Even if it's the lowest paid part-time staff person you have, the truth is you're going to lose at consistency and you're going to lose at quality. They're going to learn a lot and then they're going to be gone and you're going to be messed over. Right? So for $99 a month, Church Post offers create and schedule the posts for you. They review the posts in advance. They have consistent content with weekly updating. And this even includes, you can go up and you can even do reels of your sermon, right? You can even take the juiciest moment that you had on Sunday and make sure that it gets posted as something that people in your area will see, right? And Sunday service welcomes, weekly script post, event post, member photos, all of these things are important. When you're looking through social media, like, oh, my church just had a post. Great. Oh, look, I'm in it. Oh, I'm in it, right? Whatever, right? These are all important. So reels like this, have anybody seen this on like a Facebook reel or Instagram, right? Where you say, hey, my pastor is on my phone. It's awesome, right? You can also then share it. You can also put, hey, we had this great moment on Sunday. I thought of you. Check it out. Whatever, right? All of these things are important to be able to engage people, to be social, and to be able to find more folks who are interested. Church Post is owned by a nonprofit group. They have done over 19,000 posts. It's not a new thing. And they have a heart for pastors. They want to make it easier. I'm working with them with a church right now where I'm basically saying, look, you have done incredibly well, communications person. You're awesome at what you do. So awesome that we want you to stop doing social media because it's the lowest rung of the ladder when it comes to the other things that you can do. But you've done it well. Let Church Post pick it up and do it, and you gain an FTE, right? You gain a full-time equivalent back who is just doing social media or doing communications or part of that to do something else, right? So less to do, less to stress about, way to save money, $99 a month, no contract or commitment, month to month. They have a special offer just for us today. So if you want to hit this QR code, they'll do 6 posts a week, including 2 video posts for $149 a month. I got to tell you what, the number of churches that are paying $5,000, $6,000 a month to get this kind of consistency, if not quality, there's a ton of them. Or they have a full-time person who's doing all of their social media and paying full-time salary and benefits and health care. $149 a month. Okay, this is something I'm super excited about. This is the evangelism portion of the discussion. All right. I just found out about these folks, Visitor Reach. Inspire has connected with them. And this is a combination of the assessment tool that I talked about, and then being able to use mobile connectivity and social media in all 72 apps to be able to connect with people in a real one-on-one mobile conversation. They guarantee 150 new people every month. Guarantee. That's crazy, but it's awesome, right? Let me see if this will work for us. I got a little video.
Welcome to Visitor Reach.
Oh, it's not working.
Your go-to platform designed to revolutionize your church's outreach. We're on a mission to help you connect, nurture, invite, and assimilate new members into your church community, fostering growth and engagement like never before.
You see? You're right.
Our advanced AI church tech platform is robust and intricate. Yet, in simpler terms, we achieve this mission through 3 distinct strategies. Let's dive into the first pillar of our strategy, digital health check, also known as local listing management and SEO. Using our omni-channel approach, we audit your digital footprint, syncing your info across 72 directories, boosting your church's visibility on platforms like Google and Apple Maps. This not only optimizes your discoverability in local searches, but also ensures compatibility with voice recognition searches through Siri and Alexa. Your church becomes more accessible and easily identifiable, even through popular voice assistants. Imagine not just being found, but also being suggested to users exploring the local area. We want to help your church stand out in the digital crowd. Now, let's talk about our second powerhouse, targeted ad campaigns. Using our AI-driven omni-channel strategy, we expertly craft, launch, and oversee multiple online campaigns across platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Google. Our precision targeting system engages newcomers to your city and those spiritually curious, ensuring your message resonates with the right audience at the perfect moment. Real-time adjustments are key. We continuously refine campaigns, optimizing engagement, guaranteeing your outreach is not only widespread, but also precisely aligned with the needs of your local community. But before we launch any ads, we collaborate closely with your team to ensure the content aligns seamlessly with your culture, values, and brand standards. This is very important to us. All of these efforts come together seamlessly within our user-friendly mobile app, powered by our AI church tech platform. It's not just a tool, it's your gateway to authentic connections. Our app facilitates real-time communication with individuals who engage with ads on any platform, complete connect cards on your website, or visit specially designed landing pages. Our Nurture Point journeys are automated messages designed to initiate meaningful conversations and keep people engaged with strategic interactions throughout the week. This feature plays a crucial role in nurturing relationships even before their first church visit. Once a real conversation begins, you're notified in real time. Our app has smart features for instant engagement, like quick replies for common questions, and AI-suggested responses tailored to your church's culture, generating instant replies at the click of a button. Nurture Points complement your new visitor engagement framework, guiding individuals from their first visit to integration into small groups, classes, or baptism, fostering community and belonging. Visitor Reach is more than a platform. It's your digital ally, designed to support pastoral care and foster strong connections in our increasingly digital world. We're excited to partner in elevating your church's local impact together. Visit our reach, empowering churches, connecting communities.
This is the most awesome thing I've seen in a long time because it gathers all of those points together. The health check, right, that I talked about initially, the social media and the advertising, and then this app on the end. They call it an app, but what it really is, it's a gateway into your mobile phone. So the person that responds to an ad is going to send their name, their phone number, and information about themselves because why? They're desperate for the truth, right? And they're going to send it. And you, as the pastor holding your mobile phone, get a notification. Susie has just reached out to me and said, I really need some prayer. Would you pray with me? And you are immediately able to, within 20 minutes, if it goes past 20 minutes, the numbers start going down, but immediately you're able to get back to her and say, hey, Susie, it's Pastor Jeff. I'd love to be able to pray with you. What can we pray about? Boom. Somebody cares about Susie suddenly, in a way that none of the other social media channels that she's on has been able to respond like that, right? But you're able to do that, boom, just like that, because your ads, your listings, all of those things are working together to get that direct contact, and that's what they promise, 150 of those a month. Are you kidding me? No wonder some of the churches that are doing this are doubling or are seeing tremendous growth, because that's 150, 150, 150, and that's only one quarter. Wow, that's awesome. Right? Pretty cool. Here's a special offer from Visitor Reach. If you want to take this is a little bit more expensive because it is so all inclusive. But it's like starts at, I think it's depending on the size of your church and depending on how many responses you get. I think it's like $1,200 a month. But $1,200 a month to be that engaged missionally and get 150 people responding to you guaranteed a month, or else they turn up the volume on you. I don't know. I don't know what we're spending money on that's better than that. It's pretty awesome, right? Anyway, it's a great it's a great tool. I'm really excited about it. The other thing I'm going to talk about is an organization called Tether. Tether works with discipleship tools. And Tether basically takes the opportunity to chart how people are actively becoming disciple makers, right? So it begins to move their discipleship into more of a doing, right? 80%, the number of Christian adults who are not practicing any regular spiritual growth activities, 80%. Disappointing. 8 out of 10, the number of previously practicing millennial Christians who say the church does not address their day-to-day life in a useful way, right? They want to do. They want to do. And so if there's a way for us to be able to help lead people to transformation by giving them opportunity to engage and do things, right? It's important. We only remember 20% of what we hear, but 90% of what we do. So if I'm going to come and listen to your sermon, and it was really awesome this week, and I spoke for 30 minutes, and it was on point, at best, people are going to remember 20% of it. Half an hour a week. 20%. And that is the discipleship growth strategy. Man, there's got to be a way to get more people doing different things in their discipleship work. They do it, being able to draw closer to God each day, being able to experience more joy and peace in what they're doing, moving from consumption to practicum, right? People want to contribute, not just consume. They want to build deeper relationships, and they want something to be able to stick to the life-changing rhythms that they're experiencing and that they're understanding. So this particular tool provides ways to engage in that discipleship journey with people, delivering daily next steps, helping them understand how they are growing, letting them to subscribe to life-changing habits, and then helping them access engagement dashboards to see all the activity that they've done. A little gamification, right, in the process. But it gives them the opportunity to have this tool that they start to work. Barna Group said the church needs to find tools that help people examine the reality of their spiritual growth, not merely how they perceive it. Redeemer Church, we're all being nudged towards something. Tether nudges us towards what matters, real relationships and real spiritual practices. There's some big churches using this. There's some smaller churches using this, but it's a great tool to be able to get everybody engaged in the active participation of their discipleship and growth. So this is just a demo. You can get a demo here, and then I think there's more information about that. This is a medium cost, not as expensive as the visitor reach, but again, it's only doing the discipleship pieces that you're looking for. Okay, then this last piece that I'm going to talk about before I take your questions. Oh man, we're doing great. It's called Mission 17. Mission 17 is an entire discipleship pathway that's delivered on your mobile phone. Uses a specific technology that seems simple, but it's really, really tough. And everything on the back end of it is measurable. So I'm going to do this short video. This one's even shorter than the other one. This is only 2 minutes long on this video. So let's see if we can get this one dialed up.
For a new believer can grow rapidly. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed in our church, almost every Sunday or every service, people will make a decision to follow Christ? What happens when people become new Christians? Because almost every Sunday, people raise their hands saying, I want to follow Jesus. That's a major moment in people's lives. That's the key domino that begins a transformational and eternal change in their lifetime. How do we rapidly grow them? We are finding new ways to be able to use technology to accelerate discipleship. When you get a cinnamon roll, I just want to reach right for the middle. Just eat that. Well, what if you could have 31 middles of the cinnamon roll delivered to your phone the day you get saved and then every day afterwards for the first month of your spiritual life? Over the next 31 days, we're going to make it easy for you to grow. We're going to send you a text each morning to give you a short piece of the Bible for your Bible project that will help you grow in your faith and your maturity. It comes at 6 o'clock in the morning here in the Mountain Time Zone, and if you forget to watch it, it reminds them at 6 p.m.
I think the 31-day devotional is absolutely incredible. I'm actually walking a fairly new believer through it right now who has a lot of questions, who's completely new to the gospel. And in the 31 days, he's learning things that honestly took me probably 30 years of following Jesus to learn.
I love the fact that it brings a simple reminder to us every day, and it helps a believer who's been a believer for a long time, or not, someone who said yes to Jesus.
I have been saved for 50 years. I was really surprised, though, at how many different concepts and connections that I was making. I learned a lot.
It's kind of like, it's life-changing. You know, when you're a new believer, you're hungry for the Lord, but sometimes you don't know where to start.
I wish I had this when I became a new believer. It's super simple, right? So there's no more app. I don't have to remember another password. It's not another thing on my phone. It's just that text message. But I love the little reminder it also has too, just so, again, you can get the daily word in every day.
From a tech point of view, it's really effortless.
Short, sweet, to the point. For someone who, my age, you know, it's great that it's using technology to reach all ages, but very, very simple to use.
An amazing part of my morning routine and devotional time. It's a great way to share with new believers.
Having this branded with our local church is just great because it's a great opportunity for us to invite people who don't even come to church, but also get discipled. Not just invited to church, but invited to the kingdom.
It's extremely cool because the videos that are already created are all wrapped in your church's white labeling. And so when somebody accepts Christ or they're brand new to the church or you're trying to get them plugged in, the 31-day devotional is a great way to do that for them. And it looks like your church did it on their phone. And all of the technology comes with it. So they will get the notification at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then if they don't watch it, they'll get another notification at 6 o'clock at night, right? And it just lets them take that journey at their speed so that they become very Bible wise. The two biggest issues I think facing the church today are biblical literacy and biblical authority. Those are the two biggest things that plague our churches today. And if we can deal with one of those through a mobile phone video program, that'd be awesome. At least everybody in our church would have 31 days of Bible knowledge that would all at least be the same, right? That's the 31-day devotional journey. Oh, whoops. All right. We've already covered this.
Have you ever noticed in a church?
All right. So this is what Harvester Christian Church in St. Louis does, right? And this is what appears on the phone. When the person is new to the church, what have you, this is the scan the code, right? Or whatever, you scan that code, you'll see their program. It'll come to your phone. You can see it, right? See what they do. If you just want to text 53123, put new believer 502 and you'll be into the system, into the setup. You get to see it, exactly how it works. Okay? The other thing, is this part of the other thing that is started is this thing called StoryPath, where you have a welcome greeting from the pastor. Hey, you're new, you're a visitor, great. Hey, we'd love for you to, if you're a visitor, hit this QR code and start our welcome package. Then there's an intro video. Then there's another specific video on affirmation, time, service, gifts, all the different ways to start people to staying engaged with that first time they came through the door, right? And that leads to a little larger tool, which is called the StoryPath is what it's called. StoryPath is a way for all of this is wrapped in your church's design, look, feel, aesthetic. Okay? And it looks like your mobile system. But you'll start off with you, pastor, giving a welcome, like we just talked about. But then there are all of these different discipleship building things for them to go through. And if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, we're having some trouble in our marriage, there's a whole marriage component. Hey, man, we really like something for men's ministry. Do you have some? Yes. Right? They have a whole different component for that. There's a ton of different application that you can dial into. And even if you are a Lone Ranger, right, have a way bigger library of ways to connect with, disciple, and assimilate people into the work of the church. Like I mentioned, customized for your church. This is the pastor of Capital Church. Interesting Bible facts. I mean, you can do all of these different things. You build the wireframe, right, of what you want it to look like so that people can interact in the ways that you feel like are most important. How do they sign up for a small group? How are they going to be engaging with different schedules that are coming up, different things on the calendar that are coming up? All those different things are part of what the app can do. And, hey, scan that to get some information on Mission 17. It's a really, really cool system, and I endorse all four of these as really, really great ways to start embracing more of a digital presence. So whether you are doing evangelism and looking for people who are looking for you, whether it's discipleship and you're trying to get people to do and be more engaged in their disciple spectrum of their growth and their development, or whether you're trying to build a discipleship path for people to assimilate into the church or to grow in their disciple development so that they become small group leaders and they become the disciplers. That is a disciple-making church that's making disciples who make disciples, right? That's what it is. And all of these tools, I think, fall right in line. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to assess your situation. If you don't know how bad Google looks at you, you got to find out, right? Got to find out. Select a strategy. All right, we're going to just focus on social, just awareness, because it's our first step. It's a baby step. We're going to comb our hair and we're going to go out in public, right? That's the first step. Or, hey, we really want to jump on the assimilation tool. We want to really have a first-time visitors. That 31 days is great. So we're going to get ourselves together and comb our hair, and we're going to introduce ourselves to some people who come through our front door. That's a strategy, right? Assess your situation, select a strategy, and get started. Remember, the best way to get something going is to get started. Right? Powerful tools to help fulfill your mission. It's not hard, but it is intentional, and it requires an intentionality in saying, we're going to do this. We're going to embrace the digital space. Remember, it's not a change in the message. It's just a change in the medium, right? The medium is the messenger, right? And we want to use whatever messenger is available to us to be able to get the best message out to the people that are hungry to hear it. Let's not miss the opportunity for this next great awakening. Let's get ready for the digital space. And if I can't get over the 98% issue, because there are people who are asking Surrey where to go to church, and they're sending them to an LDS church because 98% of our churches are not involved with voice recognition technology. Wow, right? But that fact carries through in all of these other digital things. It's why churches that are down the road who are in great areas that should be really high in terms of evangelism and growth and development are getting mostly F's on their card just because they haven't done anything. They've not embraced it. They keep doing what they're doing, and expecting a different result. And the thing that keeps changing is the technology and the way that we are culturally adjusting and the way that people are residing in the digital space. And we aren't embracing it. So anyway, that is my workshop for the day. Thank you all so much for sitting through videos and sitting through QR codes. If you'd like to grab any other QR codes or you have any questions for me, I would love to take those now. Yes?
So, when you say get started, the first thing I think about is you still need somebody to kind of go through all that and get it started. Like, how many people would you say would it take to get that going? And on top of that, as far as like how many hours within a week would they have to focus on it?
I would say if you are a Lone Ranger or you have a limited staff, your best bet's to call somebody. Call somebody. Outsource it. Pay for a service because you can get out of any contract anytime you want. If it's not working, change it up. Do something else. I wouldn't tax the people who are working with you unless you have a big staff and you can give somebody who's a communications person a role or give them a responsibility or let them do the assessment or find that's great, right? But if you have limited staff, I would say there's too many people who are doing it at too cheap a price for it to be something that you try to bring in-house. You trying to train somebody to do it, you trying to get somebody to do it, and to have them become an expert at it is only a surefire plan for disappointment, sadness, and general dismay.
Well, even like we'll monitor and because like once you give it to these guys, you still have to monitor.
You do, and you can monitor it in the back. And this is whether it's a visitor reach who has complete diagnostics for all of the ways that things have come to you, ways you have followed up, ways you haven't followed up well, other staff members who maybe didn't answer the prayer request, whatever. You're able to see all those things and make who's done the videos, right? You're able to say, hey, Steve and Judy came up to me on Sunday. They're having trouble in their marriage. I gave them the marriage ticket. I gave them the marriage prescription card. Hit the QR code, watch the videos together. You guys tell me that you want to get better, but you didn't even watch the videos. How did you know, Pastor? Because I know you didn't watch the videos, right? Or you can call them on Tuesday and say, hey, are you guys watching those videos? I can't help but think about our talk on Sunday. Would you guys watch those videos? Whatever. You have the opportunity to help move them along in a way that doesn't cost you anything more than what you're doing because it's all outsourced. So if you are a DIYer and you want to do it yourself and you're like, hey, the only way to do it here at Central Christian Church is to do it ourselves. Right? That's okay. Great. Well, you're going to have to invest in the people on your team who either know how to do this or that will learn how to do this. And the best way for them to learn how to do it is to start with that assessment. Then get a strategy together and then figure out what you want to do to be able to accomplish the goals that you have. Because if your goal is discipleship, hey, Tether may be the right tool and product for us. If your goal is, or the StoryPath discipleship tool. If you're really looking for evangelism and we just need more people to discover us, to find out who we are, great, comb your hair, go out and meet some people. Any other questions?
When you first started, you had that diagnostic that showed all those.
Yes.
What were you using to show that?
It's a specific tool that I use with my team the question is that first diagnostic. I'm doing this for the first diagnostic scorecard that I had, the grade card, right? What I'm using all of those bots to come back and report what they see digitally and electronically to get a good understanding of what your footprint is. So I know how many of your listings are messed up. So I got to go back into each one of those, Yelp, Foursquare, all of those places. I got to fix the problem and make sure that I continue to report on that. Because all it takes is one intern putting their mobile phone down as the church's phone, and you've got to mess with one of those bots. So you've got to continue to comb the hair of that regularly. But then all of those reputation management pieces, all of the website scoring, all of those different pieces are things that are easily found. You just reverse the bots and figure out what the score is. That also gives us a chart on what we need to fix first, what we need to do, and whether it matters. If we're not going to do e-commerce, right? Because we're never going to take a registration for camp online. We're never going to take a tithe online. We're never going to sell a small group curriculum online. Okay, maybe we don't do e-commerce first. But the availability is there for you to increase your score simply by being involved in that space. Other questions?
So you're pretty comfortable, with AI and where that's going?
No. I saw Terminator. Scared to death. I saw the other day, it's funny just to that point. The other day I saw, the question is, are you comfortable with AI and where AI is going? My brother and I were talking the other day about how much, because like people will get him DoorDash gift cards or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm not comfortable with DoorDash. I'm not comfortable with somebody coming to my house with my food, having been in their car. Who knows what's been going on with my food in their car? I'm not cool with that. We're like, wouldn't it be cool if we could have a DoorDash situation where I can just go and pick it up? I'll use their app and get my food ordered, and I'll just go and pick it up, and then I don't have to do it. And DoorDash came out, lo and behold, right after our conversation with exactly that, right? Where I can skip the delivery and I can go and pick it up, right? And I just said to my brother, this is the death of the restaurant industry in the United States. It's the death of the restaurant industry. And my brother's response to me was, I hope our robot overlords can sure make a good steak. Yeah, I'm terrified of it. But here's the thing, like with anything, there were people who were terrified of radio waves when they were discovered. There were people who were terrified of that. What? You can send information from here to here on a radio wave? We just got used to the... we just got used to the telegram. Are you kidding? Right? But technology has always progressed, right? And so AI for me, it's a garbage in, garbage out situation. As long as they haven't refined where they're getting the information, I'm going to get a lot of answers for spirituality instead of getting a lot of truth about the gospel, right? I have a daughter who's a writer, right? And she called me up when AI was last year when AI was really, she's like, Dad, I don't know. Did I just waste 4 years of my life going to college? I said, absolutely not, because the role of the editor just became gold, right? The role of the editor just became gold. So it's not just about getting the information out. It's about, now I've got to go through it and make sure that it wasn't garbage in, garbage out. It's my responsibility to make sure that the gospel is presented in the way in which I've been called to present it, right? It's going to require an acute understanding, not only of theology, but an acute understanding of a rightness of biblical knowledge to be able to make sure that if I do use an AI study guide, and for my sermon, I deliver my sermon. We featured a group last year at Spire called Sermon Tech. And this year, I think they're called Church Tech now. They've changed the name to Church Tech. But Sermon Tech would be able to say, you preach a sermon on Sunday, and I'm going to deliver you small group questions and a small group study guide on that sermon so that small groups can use it on Monday. Great? That's a great tool, right? But if I had preached that sermon on Sunday, and I put that information into AI and I got that out, it's my responsibility to go back and read it. Make sure that it looks great, that it's right, that it's on the money, and that I didn't get garbage in because there's nothing but garbage out there. right? So it's going to be our responsibility to not only manage a tool like AI, but to continue to be responsible for the content that people absorb, even if we generate it by AI. So some great applications and some great information, here's a great application for it. If I am a visitor reach and people are responding to an ad and they're responding to this ad at a higher rate than this ad, right? Then I need AI to create me more ads like the one they respond to. I don't need my staff sitting down thinking up about a creative way to do this. That's a disaster, right? But then I've got AI who's able to make the ad for me, create the ad goes out. Now I've got 2 high-performing ads because AI was good in that way, right? But I'm still in charge. And I think if we ever lose the opportunity to say, hey, we're in charge, that's when I get scared about, AI. But there are great applications for it, great ways to make it work. Hope it gives us more time to be in the field, right? Other questions?
I have a question. How do you get your church on voice recognition?
How do you get your church started at voice recognition?
Like
on it?
A lot of churches aren't.
The first thing you should do is go on Surrey and ask about your church, right? And then you get set up with a voice recognition specialist. I know a guy. You get set up with a voice recognition specialist to be able to say, okay, we want to plan that. What's the name of your church? Hope City Church. Where's Hope City at?
Park, Michigan.
All right. Hope City Church at this address equals church, Hope City, Hope City Church, prayer meeting, Bible. All of the key words that you would normally put on your Google AdWords search, right, is what you do in being able to identify what are those voice technology words that equal my church. Then, if I've got a decent listing, my hair's combed, I'm ready to go out and meet people, right? That voice recognition software is going to put me at the top of the list, right? So, great question. Other questions? Is there anything good in today's discussion? Any good stuff? I hope it was good. I hope there was good stuff to take from it. And hopefully it pushes you into at least a step forward in terms of getting more digitally aware, getting more digitally ready, and being able to reach the people who are residing in that digital space. Because if we're not, we're missing them because they are. All right. Hey, thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Appreciate you. Appreciate the ministry you do.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Real Life Theology Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, leave us a review. We hope to see you guys next week.